Hello. Thank you for joining me. I want to talk to you about beds today. I know it sounds boring, but I've learned so much about beds maybe this month. Um, to me, growing up, you had three types of beds: a cot, a single bed, and a double bed. Obviously, cot for a baby, single bed for a child, and double bed for adults. Nowadays, it's not that way. So, not to mention how fussy babies can be, they just cry for so many things. But some babies don't actually like sleeping in cots. Some prefer prams, some prefer camping cots, some prefer those carry seats, car seats, and some just fall asleep more easily in the car. I don't know if yours is one of them, but I know my one son fell asleep more easily when driving him around. And then you have so many different types of cots these days. I did mention a camping cot, which obviously is quite suitable if you move around a lot or travel and visit people. And then now you've got sleigh cots and you've got this cot and that cot, all these fancy cots that you get to choose from. So it's not an easy choice. And unfortunately, most of us have that peer pressure that you've got to have the best. And we can't all have the best. No. But now my children aren't babies anymore. And my youngest has just left teenhood today. It is his birthday, and he is 20 and no longer a teen, as he would like to say and point out. But my younger one, my youngest son, he's still a teenager. And trying to find him a bed has been difficult because you see, him and his brother have been sharing a room. And with the older one no longer being a teenager, he obviously wants his own room. And the young one being a teenager, he wants his own room. And so we had to figure this out because they actually share a bed because it's two beds in one, where you have a single bed at the top and a double bed at the bottom, which is awesome because it's such a space saver, especially when you have a small room. Yes, it was single double bed, uh, sorry, not double bed, double bunk bed. It would be one single bed on top of the other, separated by little stands or whatever that keeps them apart. So they had that, and then we got this other option after they weren't very happy with that, and the older one wanted a double bed, and so finally we found this. Yes, somebody was getting rid of it. So yes, it wasn't like awesome, but after you got a paint of coat, I mean not a paint of coat, a coat of paint. After you got a coat of paint, it actually looked awesome. Yes. Prior to that, it looked like it came off the rubbish dump. Sorry. Okay. Um, so they've been happy on that, like that, excepting now it's time, to change things. So my younger boy decided to go and sleep in the lounge on lounge pillows on the floor. Yes. And this, I don't want to encourage him to do it anymore, so I had to come up with a solution. But no, he does not want a single bed. He wants a double bed. And it's been so many negotiations. He doesn't want to share a room with his brother. He wants his own room. Otherwise, he'll sleep in the lounge on the pillows. And I was thinking a sleeper couch, that you can just like have a couch during the day and sleep on it. But I realized he doesn't like making up his bed. Okay, well, not actually bed, but folding up his blankies and everything when he wakes up in the morning. and putting all the pillows back. And I said, you cannot leave it on the floor because people will step all over it. And they seriously do. So after witnessing this a few times, I said, no, it's not on anymore. And so I had to go bed hunting. And I thought, what about a double bed? But where are we going to fit in a double bed? And the sleeper couch, well, as I said, that's not going to work in the lounge. And anyway, he should have his own room. His room shouldn't be in the lounge, right? Yeah. Not that anyone's really visiting, but the point is still, as a teenager, you want your privacy, don't you? I think I did when I was a teenager. And so now I was searching the internet to find different types of beds. But obviously, I don't want to go and lay out a lot of money. And I also want, a bed, a clever bed, if that's the way to put it. Space saving, but you know, well, if I knew how, I would have made a loft bed long time ago out of the single bunk beds. But when I was trying to put it all together, people weren't quite agreeing with me and I didn't know quite what to do. So I was looking this time at options and wow, they can be expensive, but there are so many. And the beds available for adults is awesome. The variety. It's no longer just a double bed. Oh, there's a three-quarter bed, there's a queen size bed, there's a king size bed, there's a king size extended bed, and then you've got the water bed, you've got the massage bed, or you've got where there's a massage mat on the one side, and then you've got the gaming bed where you've basically got your bed and everything around you set up for gaming. So you can stay in bed while gaming, and that's quite awesome. And then you've got like the hospital bed kind of thing, where you've got the tray that comes over your bed, so you can eat in bed, and you can read in bed, and you can do your homework in bed. And well, if you have your laptop or computer close by and the monitor's in front of you and you've got the webcam, you can do classes in bed, I guess. And your Zoom time or Skype or Google Meet, whatever you're using, you can do that whilst in the comfort of your bed, which is quite awesome. Yes. So the thing was, what would suit my son? Hmm. Well, as I say, single bed. He thought he's a bit old for a single bed now. Where in my day that was not an option. It was like, no, you're a child. Okay, but some people did get double beds, and I guess it was just preference, maybe. Maybe one was just treated differently to the other. Maybe, I don't know what the whole story is, but yeah, I went looking around and wow, as I say, there are awesome beds. But there weren't so many here in South Africa. I saw beds that I would have loved to import, but they can be quite a lot of money. But it's awesome ideas, and I just felt so inspired. But when I've got hope, then that means I keep looking and I keep keeping an eye open. And the thing is, with him as well, if I were to get a loft bed, what would that be? Because now he says he wants a double bed. Can you have a double bed in a loft bed kind of situation where you have a double bed on top and a little study area underneath? or do you have to put the study area above the double bed? You know? So I was Googling that as well. And seriously, there are some situations where that is actually happening. It's amazing, really. But obviously, I don't do woodwork, so I don't know everything about that. But as I say, I was just so inspired by everything. And then I went looking at pictures and I went through them with him. And then it would be, no, that's too short, no, too low down. My son's taller than me, by the way. He is. I'm the shortest. Everyone else is taller than me. So, no, that's a bit too low. I'll hit my head. And no, you can't put my desk on top because, I can't stand up because I'll hit my head. And if I sit up, I don't want to hit my head. And but a love bed would like solve so many problems because you've got so much in that little space. Because it's like a double story. You've got two rooms in one, and you're not like cramped for space in a small room, you know, floor wise, because you're going one above the other. Makes sense. So finally, I found something, but obviously he's still got his doubts, and I'm getting like, is there anything that this boy is actually going to like other than sleeping on pillows in the lounge? Well, I found something. It was not a double bed, but when we went to look at it, it was actually higher than him. The little study area underneath. He could actually fit in there, and that made him happy. And that made me happy. Yeah, compared to others where I could see it's made for a child. And obviously, him being taller than me, he might not be the height of a normal child. So, anyway, so we finally found one, a second-hand one, which was quite well looked after. And yeah, the boy who had it had decided a month later that he'd never wanted it. He didn't want it anymore. So it was my bargain that I got it. Awesome. So I left the guys to take it apart and bring it home. And I thought I'd leave them to put it together. Teamwork is not always dream work, right? No. So I was wondering why it was taking so long. Firstly, in the taking it apart, and it was because one person didn't want the help of other people. As much as they wanted to help, the one person thought they knew better than everyone else. And me, you understand, although I might think sometimes I know better than everyone else, I know that I don't. And often I will ask other people for their opinions, what they think. And especially if I don't have a clue, then I'll admit that I don't have a clue. So I finally went to check up on them, and apparently some of them, I'm not going to mention names, but some people did appreciate my presence because suddenly things started moving along because I was there and I was willing to listen to everyone's, what they had to say, their thoughts. And, as an outsider, I could give my opinion and say, stop wasting time. That sounds reasonable. Let's do it that way. Da 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 da. Why don't you agree with that? And finally things got moving. And when they were putting it together once again, one person seemed to know everything, so things had to be done that way. And it just was not working out. And so the teamwork wasn't working so well. And they were trying to keep me away from this because, obviously guys have got it all figured out. and me, I don't. So I finally got through and got to look at what was going wrong. And let's just say that I used my mathematical brain to like try and figure things out. And then I'll start like talking about maths. And they were like, what on earth has maths got to do with this? And it's like, well, you got to understand, if you don't have things at the right angle, then things aren't all going to work together because you've got things that are at opposite angles and things are going to just not fit together, and you've got to have things at right angles and not an acute and then an obtuse angle, then because then you'll never get a right angle and then the things just won't fit together. So I had to kind of explain that, and then they said, no, it's not going to work. I said, well, at least try. I mean, you've tried your way. It hasn't worked. And let's just try it this way. And wow. Well, obviously, there was quite a bit of loudness happening there as people disagreed with me. And finally, they did listen. And I am happy to say that it all came together. They were all willing to quit because it wasn't. And with all four of us working together, it did. And I said, well, I'll just be the branger and I'll stay out of the way unless necessary, Don't stress about that, but at least let me share some of my knowledge, And I'm glad I could, And it was nice once it was all together and he could get up and make up his bed. He was so excited because now no one can actually come onto his bed, and the cats can't jump onto his bed easily because he's up close to the roof. And when he sits up, his head's like touching the roof. But he's so happy to have his little study area. He's got his books, his school books, nicely on the shelves around him. And he's got his little work area there, and it's just looking awesome. And his room looks clean. It doesn't look cluttered. And he looks happy. He is. And I just think the cats aren't that happy because they cannot sleep by him, because it might be like a suicidal mission if they were to jump down. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, I just want to share that with you. I'd like to know what kind of beds you like and don't like. And well, I'm still looking at, other options because, you can actually have like a space-saving bed where your bed can be, I know you've probably seen the bed that's like, can go up into a cupboard when you're not using it. And then you've got also the bed that's got like a cupboard under it. So you've got drawers and everything under it, and you've got drawers on the wall. And anyway, some people have come up with these awesome ideas. Wow. So I'm checking that out still, but I'm not there yet. And maybe one day I'll get to tell you about that. But for now, at least I've got two happy boys. And that is something that I am happy about. I hope your children are happy with their sleeping arrangements and that you haven't had as much trouble as I have. So obviously I'm not going to edit this because I'm trying not to. Otherwise I won't even post this and share it with you. So I hope you will respond and let me know what you think and your thoughts and what your thoughts are about the awesome beds that are available and which you'd prefer. Okay, take care and hope to hear from you all soon. And please subscribe if you want to know when my next video comes, and like this video if you liked it, if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, well then let me know how I can improve it. Okay, but anyway, bye for now.